Listen, I was there when Barry found Barry was having a lot of pain in his ear, his head, and I was there when they found out that a parch can landed up in Barry's ear, and everybody was peeing on Barry's ear to get the parch can. What do you call parch can again? Parch can. It's a June bug. I'm sorry. It's a June bug. So I was there when everybody pee on Barry's ear, because they say if ants get on in the ears, pee in the ears and the ants just roll out. It happens sometimes. Trust me. Okay. But that parch can, that June bug would not come out, and so but they had to take Barry to the hospital. I don't know what happened there, but he finally come back home. Everybody was scared, that June bug was going to damage Barry's ear. And Barry was there for me too. When Barry was there when I was in basic school, and I was eating guinea. I've loved guinea all my life, right? Guinea season is, to me, is the best season of any kind of fruit season is in Jamaica. I just sit down and eat guinea all day long. I mean, when I go to Jamaica now and I have a rented car, if I'm in there by myself, I stop at the various major spots, in Falmouth, or in or down further. I forgot the name of that place, down the hill from Falmouth there, or up Queens Drive in Montego Bay, or anywhere the sweet guinea them there, I stop, get all 3 bunches of guinea, and just sit down and just eat guinea, drive and eat guinea. When I'm done, the whole place, full of a guinea seed and skin. Well, Barry was there for me when I was in basic school, and when I was eating guinea, and the seed stopped at my throat, right? I inadvertently swallowed the seed, and it got stuck down there. And Barry was there with me and grabbed me and run down the hill. It's a very steep hill, Run down the hill with me behind him. He had my hand and run down. And there was a standpipe at the bottom. That's where he was headed with me, to go to the standpipe. And headed up and went down and drank the water and got the seed. So Barry was there. Barry has been there for me for a long time. And I don't ever forget those kind of stuff. Barry was there when we were coming from Bush one time with his daddy, Benjamin Laws. And when we came down, Mr. Pappy around the corner, and dog jump out at me, it was Barry to the rescue, run off dog. And even though I lost a pumpkin, the pumpkin broke because I was carrying the pumpkin, and Barry was there to. But we always, he was always walking around with me, making noise. We always walk, no shirts, and make noise on Canapan Street. So we have a good, solid ground that we build our friendship on. And just so as Pat was very bright. Pat, I still remember Pat, when we were in class, everybody learned to write, in cursive, and everybody learned to write in block form and stuff. But Pat's writing was different, and it was so clear. And anytime you want anything for study, and Pat do a lot of writing, you can always go to fear stuff, and and it's very clear. You can read Pat's writing aside from everybody else's. It was kind of different because she wrote very well. All her words properly spelled, properly lined up, properly written, and so it was easy to capture and to read what Pat wrote. And I remember her writing very clearly. We were that close. Pat, you can't have a better friend than that. The whole family just funny and boy, do they have a memory. If you sit down with Pat, he can tell you everybody name from Pat, I remember this guy, I couldn't remember his name the other day, but he used to walk around and sell coal, coal, right? We never had the regular, in my earlier years, we never had gas stove and stuff. What we had was coal stove that we cook on outside, all right? So this man used to sell, him come from, all the way from Mason Hall, and he would sell coal. Come on, you step with a zinc pan, you have him donkey outside, and then put a half a zinc pan or a quarter zinc pan of coal as you can afford. And me never remember my name. I'm call up Pat and I say, Pat, my name? And Pat tell me, I still don't remember. But, you call the name, or you just describe who the person is, and Pat remembers the name for you. So she's my historian now whenever I want to remember anything. I remember a lot of stuff. I remember situations, but names kind of, the details of the names kind of elude me every now and then, But Pat, don't forget nobody at all. Love Pat, bad. I tell you this, that if you don't have a family that's close to you from your boy or girl picnic, someone who you can reminisce with, boy, you're losing out on a whole lot, because this is where the laughter is. And I give a lot of love and care and absolute sweetness to this family, because whenever I want a good laugh is where I go. Yes, it's where I go. Got to for the memories, I thank you for being there, Law's family. You have nurtured me. You have kept me straight. You have kept me balanced. I never considered drugs in all my life, and I never even go close to it. Never smoke weed. Never smoke cigarette. And I can't remember even trying to do something wrong, really, If I did, it's probably because I'm in a crowd or among boys who are engaging in this stuff. And, as boy picnic, things happen, But the one thing that I could be certain of is that this family doesn't do anything wrong either, So we kind of help each other along, making sure that our lives are straight, that we learn what we need to learn, and we become adults as friends from little picnic. This family is not, I'm not talking about like age 12. I grew up, I was born into this family, pretty much. I was born into this tenement yard. I was born in Stuartown, but my knowledge of the youngest days of my life was in that tenement yard and with this family. And I am proud to say that, all of that family doing well, all of my family doing well. We're all friends. And so, if you're jealous that me have a family we call family, sorry for you. Because that's an extension of of who I am. And so I'm happy to know Pat and Barry and Basil and Nikki and Byron and Vernal and Julia and Washi. She not like when me call her Washi, but me love you bad. Me no business where you want to say Washi. I'm Washi. Me know you as. Me not push you round in a pan. So, sure. Me love you still, Washi. And Carmen Laws, thank you. Thank you for being there. Thank you for being a friend. Thank you for being the wonderful family that that one can learn from, one can look up to, and one look up to as a model family. You are always together. The entire family stayed together, lived together, breathed together. You know that's nothing no better than that. So again, thank you. And for all the people who are wondering why I'm spending so much time with this family, it's because it is the family that kept me straight. So yeah, that's an impact of my life. Anywhere I'm going in the world, I always remember them. Anything that I do in my life, I always remember them. I always go back to basic and say the criminal always come back to the scene of the crime. Well, they are the scene of the crime. I'm the criminal, and I'm coming back to them all day long. Always. I love no bad. All right, Lazy and the Lawsies.